Rite of parting? Did something terrible happen again? The rite of parting?
I smell rabbit.
Так, всем привет, ребят, вы на канале Данила Лайв. Вышло новое обновление на игру Genshin Impact. Сейчас у меня небольшие проблемки с Ютубом, я сейчас разберусь и начнем. Небольшие проблемки с Ютубом, я сейчас разберусь. Так, звук забыл выключить. Ай-яй-яй-яй.
Did something terrible happen again?
Have you heard? The rite of parting. Have you heard?
The rite of parting? Did something terrible happen again?
Так.
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Я, кстати, сегодня настраивал, я не знаю, почему у меня пошло не по плану все.
Rite of parting?
Have you heard?
Ну, это очень странно.
Will happen again?
Так, что-то я прикола не понял, почему у меня такая фигня.
The rite of parting?
Have you heard?
Did
The
something
rite of
terrible
parting.
happen again?
Все, отлично, мне все заработало.
Have you heard? The rite of parting.
The rite of parting?
I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Something terrible happen again?
Ну что, поперли. Еще раз представление. Кто только что подсоединился, всем привет на канале Данил Лайв. Сегодня, 23 декабря, вышло новое крупное обновление 1.2. Добавили новую карту, по-моему, как называется, драконий хребет или как? Как-то так вот, что ли. Я там толком не разобрался, потому что я очень сильно хотел на стриме это попробовать сделать. Ну, раз уж я сегодня постримить хотел сегодня Assassin's Creed постримить, но вышло обновление, так что меняем немножко планы. У меня 50-й ранг приключений. Так, начнем мы с ежедневок, а потом пойдем по главной линии. У меня еще тут дополнительное. Ну, разберемся, сейчас очень много чего будет у нас тут. Я думаю, стрим будет долгий. Постараемся сегодня все по максимуму выполнить. Сегодня очень много заданий. А еще сегодня мы молитвы сможем пооткрывать. По-моему, 2 комплекта. Может, даже больше. Так, поговорите с Патчи. Эти ежедневки так надоели, если честно. Я бы сейчас пошел бы сюжетку выполнять. Так, шалом. Не будем читать, заострять на это внимание. Зачистите лагерь монстров. Так, я как понял, еще карту обновили не сильно. Давай, сейчас должен будешь Ну ладно, пошел вон отсюда. Дроп не дали, а вы аж засранцы какие-то. Этакие.
Change the subject.
Сейчас сдаем задание и пошли дальше отсюда. Так, отлично, дальше. Следующая ежедневка. Шепчущий лес, через статуи архонтов перемещаемся. Если на досуге все повыполняем, а я думаю, мы не все повыполняем. Блин. Ну ладно, фиг с ним. Короче, идем заданий по горло. Я хотел еще странного телечурга поискать. У меня пара точек стоит. Кстати, сегодня же среда. Блин, среда. Хотел оружие улучшить до 90 уровня. Это вряд ли получится. Придется вас тут тоже подгашивать. О, дроп, нормальный дроп. Кого вы целитесь? А ну давай, наноси удар, Хапшу. Пам-парам-пам-пам. То щитом придет? Блин, засранец. Придется сначала с этим разберемся. У меня нету огня, поэтому... Убивайся, давай. Недалеко это артефакт. Что там горит? Или у кого горит? Лечурки сами себя поджигать начали. Увлекательно. Теперь нам вот сюда. Не, кстати, я вот эту карту пытался открыть. Там вот это... подожди, как Криоархонт, да, по-моему, называется? Криоархонт, и... пытался его открыть. Ну там какая-то фигня замороженная, вообще не шарю. Может там надо по сюжетке пройти и открыть. Наверное, чем мне нравится Бойдол, то что я некоторые удары могу парировать. Вот сейчас нанесет удар. Давай, маг. Кстати, я тут Барбару не... Вот мне интересно, сколько меня Барбара восстанавливает. О, почти 2000. Ни хрена себе. Сейчас переключаемся на Барбару, типа надо снять. Раз уж пока мы тут находимся, я предлагаю пойти посмотреть в одно место. Хотя, блин, время не хочу терять. Ладно, потом сгоняю. И последнее мне вон туда. Кстати, когда вот не было еще этой карты, ну то есть она сейчас мне еще закрыта, я же говорю, ничего не делал. Кстати, я там даже видел духов, а не огненного цвета. Огненного, блин, цвета сказал. Красненькие такие. Как огоньки. Огненные. А ну-ка, может попробовать быстро сейчас завалить их? Отдыхай. Вот так вот сделаем.
Solidify.
Eyes on me!
I will have order.
Ух, как хорошо пошло. Вы куда? А пообщаться? Щитом? О, вот это убить надо он. Пробитие. Да, блин, камера. Есть пробить. Блин, в смысле нет пробития? О. Готов. Так, и по-моему это все, да? Да, теперь мы идем, сдаем задание. Все, вот это вот сдаем. Сдаем, получаем награду и идем уже по основному заданию. Получаем забавный пропуск всякую. Ич. Хотя, у меня же закрыта, да, верхняя часть? Ну да. Опять помню, сколько я этого всего выполнял. Много давали. За то время, там, 2-3 награды открытия. Так, ну поехали. Отслеживаем. Сахароза. Опа-на. Ой, кажется, Тимея сегодня нет. Клиенты? О, Хэм, прошу прощения. У вас к нему какое-то дело? Нет, просто странно, что он не здесь. Пойман думала, что он всегда стоит тут. Понятно. Альбедо послал за ним, и он ушел, а я осталась приглядывать за лавкой. Меня зовут Сахароза, я ассистент Альбедо. Обращайтесь ко мне по любым вопросам, связанным с алхимией. Я постараюсь вам помочь, чем смогу. Кстати, она вот ну, если вы заметите, как будто, ну, главный герой понравился ей. Еще раз, но уверенно, не надо нервничать. Что? Я нервничаю? Вот да, вот видно, вот не румянец. Прошу прощения, я редко выхожу в своей лаборатории, и в ней мне разговаривать особо не с кем. Если что-нибудь понравится, просто позовите. Если нет, я буду вон там читать книгу. Блин, читать пас буду. Легендарный путешественник, который избавил наш город от ужаса. Могу дать автограф без очереди. О тебе много разных историй, всегда хотела изучить тебя подробнее. В каком смысле изучить? Простите. А ну, что это за кнопка? О, круто. Вот 5 Альбедо занимается алхимией в Манштаде.
Apologies. I never introduced him. Albedo is the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist. He's also Timaeus and my teacher. But Paimon's only ever seen Timaeus teaching alchemy. Yes, we often get
Промотаю, мне не очень сильно интересно.
Still, it seems that he's encountered a problem in his research recently. I'm sure that Albedo is a true gentleman. He'll be sure to pay you back, and I don't see Albedo, and I'm afraid you'll have to... Sorry. Hey, stop!
Мне больше сейчас пойти, мне еще очень много дел. Опыты над путешественником. Привет! Минес, привет, Сань, привет, как дела? Отправьтесь к подножию драконьего хребта. О, блин, это ж куда там переть мне? Да, догадывался, чекпоинт стоит. Пару уже чекпоинтов поставил. Когда проходил мимо, просто интересно было. Так, это мне... Да, я нормально. Видишь, на Genshin Impact вышло новое обновление, крупное, вот 1.2, и мне вот очень сильно интересно, хочу пройти, посидеть немножко тут. Барбара. Сестра Розария, вот вы где? Хорс скоро. Я уже говорила, что не собираюсь принимать в этом участие. У меня есть более важное дело. Походу, злодейка?
Hopes? That's odd, cause I mean... But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you?
Нифига себе, какая-то королева, что ли?
Find it the least bit odd?
У нее такие перчатки, вот. Стрёмная. О, грудь красивая.
What do you mean?
Что именно?
This far out from Mondstadt at this hour?
Так далеко от Манштада в такой-то час держу пари, что даже если выдвинется сейчас же, ты все равно не успеешь к церемонии открытия. Кто знает, кто-то хочет выставить тебя на посмешище. Ладно, промотаю, посмотрим, что дальше будет.
It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've got to get going. Seems like that nun's an expert in making people...
I thought I heard something.
Я заметила вас еще на подходе. Кто вы такие, чего... Короче, что подслушиваете? Осторожнее, она похожа на опасную злодейку или по меньшей мере на обманщицу. Главное, чтобы была грудь красивая. О. Ну, у нее, кстати, самая большая. Вот то, что я все смотрел, у нее самая большая.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following, the honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Otherwise,
What? Do the nuns of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden danger.
Так,
Let's talk
посмотрим.
about you. What are you doing in the mountains?
Мы ищем
If it's
Альбедо.
him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope there's...
So, are you all...
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never, I couldn't care what you think.
Да не, монахиня нам меньше всего напоминает на самом-то деле.
They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
Не долечу. Придется лезть. Привет! Пока.
Solidify.
I'll protect us.
Готово. Сундучки — это очень вкусная вещь. Вы шо? Особенно тут, походу, тут я вижу. Что это такое? Ладно, пошли дальше. Используя чувство стихии, идите по следам Альбедо. Понятно? Понял.
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Блин, так хочу этот сундук забрать.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
Привет! Добрые люди!
So suspicious. What's behind on a criminal in your example?
Не-не-не-не-не-не-не! Хватит защиту свою врубать. Что такое наглое, а? Следующий. Опа-на. Ты кто? Ладно. Я сейчас скачаю Genshin Impact. Телефон потянет? Играй. В принципе, мне компания не помешает. На, такие жирные, блин, пипец. Ты куда? Ну ладно, ты... А ты водой, по-моему, подаешься, я знаю. Ты воду любишь. Да, ты воду любишь. Чё ты в нокауте уже сидишь, блин? Неинтересно аж. А с тебя что выпало? В принципе, мне больше всего интересно, что в сундучке. Мне дали розу артефактов. Кстати, тут печка, пока надо что-то приготовить. Голубцы. Хотя обычно едой не ну, обычно я не с едой хожу. Так, там я еще что-то видел. Труба, серьезно. Круто. Пошли по следам дальше. Ледяная? Блин, аж заинтриговала. Ну давай сюда иди. Я таких мобов еще не видел.
I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Seems like there's more to being a nun in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
Неинтересный моб. Кто-то очень легкий. О, ладно, не суть. Пошли дальше. Так, это куда нам? Куда? Да. Это надо. Идем дальше. Я на ПК его качаю. А у тебя компьютер потянет? Потому что игра требовательная немножко. Дух. О, телефон, секундочку, ребят. Да. Нормально. Нет, нет. Да, немножко занят, сижу тут с ютубом вожусь. Юля пускай не забудет, там надо по поводу сайта решить. Да, без проблем. Мама, потом поговорим, давай. Мама, расслабься. Да я все сделаю, ты слишком... Короче, я не хочу ругаться. Давай. О, родители эти мои любимые, которые постоянно суют нос не в свое дело. Бывает такое. Куда? Я еще сюда не спускался. Что тут? Опа. Главный герой. Альбедо ему в таком месте понадобилось.
The word on the street is he loves sketching. He'll hang the views and...
Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them?
Кто вы и зачем вы их потревожили?
Thank the gods I'd
К
already
счастью, как
completed
раз я
my
закончил
sketch.
набросок, который
Would
очень
have been ashamed to leave these
жаль
particular hilly trails unfinished.
оставить это хиличурхом законченным. Как ты рисовал?
What's up with sketching it?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my sketch, it may give you a clue.
Боюсь объяснить, что это не так уж просто, почему бы вам не взглянуть на рисунок.
Wow, look at the detail. But some of it.
You can find these hilly trails, but take a look in the cyclical lives of such primitive communities. Such unique attributes.
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for it. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? What?
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point.
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucro.
I see. So Sucro sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of every... I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit... Forgive me.
Whoa.
For
Хочу
example,
промотать это.
awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, it's like you.
Well, if
I beg to differ, but you're not from the known world. By observing and...
shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do... Time for a change.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it
Победы
off.
почти нашли общий язык.
Takes a weirdo to know one,
Ну,
I
два
guess.
пара интересно, но
I wonder,
представляет ли
does
это
this
угрозу
constitute a
Манштабу?
risk to Mon?
Идите к месту проведения опыта. Даже интересно, куда меня дух приведет. Не поиграем. Почему? Что ж меня напрягают эти все наши люди, а? Так, обморожение идет, надо быстрее. Блин, случайно нажал на способность.
Paimon has a question. After the
Пойман
seeds
вопрос.
sprout,
Из-за
will it grow
этого
anything?
семя
I don't know.
вырастет?
But I'm using out after awake.
Просто посмотрю свой эксперимент.
Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become?
Well, if it turns out to be...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's... The subject... How you're able to freely manipulate... Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating.
What a stupid... And another thing, it's...
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick. Or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards.
Голова квадратная, уже не понимает.
No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, let me lure a few slimes.
Huh? Doesn't seem very scientific.
Direct and clear observation are naturally if...
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
А, да, я тут забыл некоторые сети подключать, чтобы не мешали мне. Здравствуйте, это пиццерия. Через минут 20 будет пиццерия. Сейчас шаурмичная. Привет. Не очень понятно, по-моему, лишняя морока.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here in...
Что за слаймы?
Order guide you.
Ух, что-то их многоватенько. Что ты дуешь? Блин, как замедляет атаку-то, ужас. Ауля. Что, Саня стримить закончил Ведьмака или еще сидит втыкает?
Great work. Did you feel
Отличная
anything out of
работа.
the
Почувствовал
ordinary?
ли ты себя что-нибудь
If
необычное?
you're injured,
Если
I have
ты
a few
ранен, у меня
emergency
для
potions
тебя
ready.
есть парочка зелий.
Excellent. Now that we know that the
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda...
Don't worry.
And
If anything unexpected occurs, well, that's not just a warning. If an internal elemental yes, it's a type of... I'll take you to my... All going to...
Paimon? Let's keep our eyes open.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
Что вы там курите, а? А что так жестко-то, а? Блин, засранцы-то какие, блин. Что так тяжело?
Let the show begin.
Придется так сделать.
Eyes on me.
Фух, жестко.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
А, вот я понял, для чего эта фигня, типа, чтоб тепло было. Чтоб не окоченел. Опа-на. Сундук, но... Потом. Начало интересное. Тут тепло, должно быть.
This is my campsite. I've added
Это
the
мой лагерь,
materials we
собранные
collected to
материалы,
the
и я
concoction.
уже добавил зелье.
While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here
Это
is
мой
helping me
ассистент
with my
Тимми.
research.
Он помогает мне в моем
I'm guessing
исследовании.
you
Вы
may have
должны
met
быть,
in
вы его
Mondstadt
видели в
already.
Mondstadте.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment.
Whoa.
I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting in a cryoregis fine. In that sense, things might get...
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world...
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If I'll... in line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all
Возьми со
times.
стола зелье.
And breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Где она находится-то?
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
Так, я переключусь на кнопку разговора. Так, раз, два, проверка.
So you knew...
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural. Perhaps it's just in conclusion.
Aw, Paimon wanted...
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good thing about ordinary people are the same. When you're sick, but a peculiar... For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisfine, or an Eye of the Storm. Have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Oh, having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract...
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What?
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... prepare something. Wait, if you're interested, why not have a look?
An elemental life form from another world. As soon as we have strong albedos.
Тут смотреть, только черт его знает.
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see
Я
anything
вернулся,
interesting?
ну как, наши что-нибудь. Вот это.
Agreed. Well, on there may be take to that, but worlds. So, I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No, no. You shan't be required. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it. That was your best effort?
What's with the disappointment? Isn't that like
Have you tried using your I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. Anyway,
cooking?
not only is it...
That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves.
I'll leave you to it then. If there's any...
How are we gonna
Что
channel
тут дальше
all
делать-то?
the power into the food?
Приготовьте блюдо солнечная рыба.
Where does it get these ideas from?
М. М. Рыбу надо. Ловить рыбу надо.
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Тут есть где-то пруд. Мне вот сюда вот, по-моему. Да. Надо рыбу. Рыбы-то нет. по-моему, еще 2 штучки надо работать.
That was... An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You seem well versed in this. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headache, unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your...
We just did.
Not to worry. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends.
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. I managed to retrieve...
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want to...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight!
Найдите потерянные вещи. До сумки.
This must be electrohypostasis powder. The extract of an animal crystal fly can only be animal element.
Goodness. You managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight...
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be a...
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity is one of us. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see? So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
Still in one Good thing the vial's so strong.
Опа. Опа.
Right.
Куда мне направляться, что-то понять.
You want us to jump from...
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable. Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Teyvat do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Teyvat do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
help your research.
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are, and I'm willing to pour all my energy into all these things that start out as objects of fascination, end up possessing the
Oh, so that's why you wanted to sketch those hilly trails? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between...
Precisely. To quote...
So after all...
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me. Now, before we head back to the campsite, follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Так, а куда мне перейти? Интересно.
imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. Remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get lucky in any way, that won't be factored in as part of the test. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like.
Чей головолом?
It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Фигня. Ладно.
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Что головоломки не есть. Да. Черт его знает, походу в интернете надо поискать. Блин, а как же решить ее? Что если...
Outrider Amber, report.
Может, в этом-то и есть прикол? Я так и думал. Какая загадка? Может, это не совсем загадка, а просто как бы... Кажется, я первую головоломку понял. Блин. Ладно.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but there's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Seems like if you want.
I've truly gained a lot from. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kind of looking forward to seeing the result of all this braining. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You! You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps, you were colluding from the beginning.
Listen, sister, your guard's so high you can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know, but I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing: whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it! And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy!
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing, but for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on you.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? I wouldn't worry. She's just doing her job. Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Teyvat's natural laws, it isn't even able to... But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. A short life. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small...
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look... Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean, at the time in the future, if the need arises, well, glad I can count on you.
Привет еще раз.
I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were, but what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities.
Игра в описании, Genshin Impact.
You and I are alike.
Пришла в этом году.
Both composed of a substance. If one day
Амар
I lose
ПГшная
control,
анимешная игрушка.
destroy my... Can I rely on you to stop me?
Если интересно, можете себя поиграть. Она есть, кстати, на на плойках, на телефонах, на компах. На компах.
Looks like someone made camp here.
И
Are
еще
other people adventuring nearby?
вот это
Let's see how our fellow explorers are
кроссплатформенная.
doing.
Блин, ну как же эту штуку отковырять? Я очень хочу. Не знаю, как на бокс. Не знаю, честно. Опа, на. Тридцать два. Еще я понял. Ой, скоро предел, надо мне немножко обогреть. А, блин, подобрать надо. тут что? После игры владеете. И знак. Сначала надо эту фигню там отколупать огнем. Не наверх. Тут надо, кстати, проводить. Не понимаю.
No one escapes my sights!
Как это фигня здесь? Надо побегать просто поисследовать, я не знаю, что это такое. Хотя наверх очень интересно залезть.
Let the show begin!
Куда меня отправили-то? Ладно. Пооткрываю тогда молитвы пока. Это пооткрываю. 4-10. Дали ни о чёмного. Чёрт. Что это такое? Интересно, мы персонажи дать не могли.
I keep watch. You leave, you call me.
Вообще тут оружие. Интересный лук. А ну-ка. Ладно, я вернусь там уже.
Situation here seems trickier than I
Опа.
thought.
Артефакт. Белого бога.
Hey, it's Sucrose! Are you here to explore the snowy mountain too? You scared me. Please, don't scare me like that. But you were just standing... Not at all. I was just thinking of a name for a new subspecies of sweet flower I propagated. Oh, are you interested? It's a shame. Yeah. Weren't you two... Timaeus and I were helping Albedo... Sure didn't. He said that he wasn't as sure the significance of some things, but Timaeus seemed rather depressed about the matter. I was originally going to... But, well... Secrets? Don't have anything on us, but... Then... Could I ask you for a favor? But isn't he your teacher? Well, that's true, but I feel like he's always hiding something. It is my... Wait, how are you... Timaeus and I are both passionate Could you help me investigate what it is that Albedo's hiding? What do you think? Yes! Thank you. All right. Let's...
Why are you here? Are you lost?
No, we're not.
A secret?
Hey, what are you doing? Our mission calls for a delicate approach. Sure.
Actually, you've arrived at just the right moment. I have business with you too, and here, catch.
Huh? What?
As you can see, it is a sword. I did not make the sword. However, I did add some alchemical touches to it. Would you like to try it out? My research indicates that this sword has some unique properties. Only you can use it, but I need to gather data from it quite urgently. So, could I bother you to use it in battle?
Wait a second. How can there be a sword?
Very astute of you. An ordinary person.
Huh?
Or perhaps I should say that only you are immune to the curse. We gain little from saying more. Go find some more.
Улучшить надо. Например.
How about those over there?
Paimon still has a bad feeling about this.
Over here! It's with this brat! Give it back, you thief!
Чё, меч своровали?
Treasure hoarders? There are treasure hoarders in a place this cold?
Enough talk! Hand it over!
Watch out!
There's no end to this.
Take this!
Another test subject. Suffocate! That tingle!
No escape!
That tingle! That tingle! That tingle! picked the wrong
Now that's rich! Treasure hoarders calling us thieves?
They certainly arrived quickly. Goodness, no.
They seem to have been talking about this sword.
Why are you looking at me like that? Of course I didn't steal the sword. Not long ago, the knights caught a band of treasure hoarders outside the city. The goods they were smuggling were also impounded. This sword was one of those items. We believed it to be stolen plunder, but no one came to claim it. Nor could we find out where it came from, so it languished in our stores. I noticed it quite by chance while in our storehouse. To tell you the truth, such an old sword would see little use outside of alchemy.
You claim? So then what?
Indeed. This ancient-looking weapon once passed through the hands of an...
A magical sword?
It is said that the smith vanished not long... working backwards from its eventual fate as plunder.
The blacksmith who made this weapon disappeared. No wonder it's cursed.
Exactly. Do you know the story of Durin in this mountain? Durin was the black dragon who menaced Mondstadt, before finally being defeated by the combined efforts of Dvalin and the Animo Archon Barbados. After a fierce battle, the vanquished Durin crashed to ruin here, falling into the thick snow. Snow gathers atop this mountain and never melts, which is a most curious phenomenon. Which leads one to wonder, was Durin's fall here purely by chance, or was it intent?
Could it really have been intent?
Perhaps this place was chosen as a gravesite precisely so that the snow's power could seal the corrosive toxin coming from... It seems plausible that Barbados would think of such a method.
Huh. Was Barbados such a capable...
Well, these are just my postulations. I don't have any evidence. But what's for certain is that this mountain and Durin are deeply intertwined. In fact, I believe that the very sword in your hand has Durin's...
A dragon's remains?
Indeed. The dragon's eyes, claws, and scales, ground into dust before being used to coat the blade. In this way, Durin's corruption and venom entered into the sword, and became the source of its power. This is very advanced craftsmanship. I presume that having successfully forged the weapon, the smith must have tried it out themselves in their joy. But using the sword in battle would have allowed the corruption to seep through the blade's handle and into their bodies. Ordinary mortals cannot withstand such power. The blacksmith must then have fled, driven mad by the curse, before meeting their end in some unknown place. You've purified Dvalin's tears before, which is a very rare ability indeed. This ability has protected you from being corrupted or poisoned, and you can completely eliminate their effects. Which is why you, and only you, can properly wield this sword.
Still, this sword really is huge. Yikes! It's glowing!
As far as I'm concerned, this is where the real experiment begins. This sword is still very weak at present. However, it is able to absorb energy. In some sense, you could even say that it is a living thing. Well then, traveler, adventure with it to your heart's content. I believe that we will soon have all the proof that we need.
Толка в кучу брать надо. Ладно, ребят, на этом сегодня закончим. Зажглось. Было не лайф и Genshin Impact.